Good afternoon, witches. We are here with Jayme Welch and Joline Williams of Seven Green Sisters. We're going to learn a little bit about Seven Green Sisters today and the people who are behind the brand Seven Green Sisters.
Tell us your name.
Here I am. So I am Jayme Welch. I am married. I was a Williams.
Yes.
Always a Williams. Once a Williams, always a Williams. I am 41 years old. And
Where are you from?
I am a gypsy of the world, but I was born in California. So San Diego, California. And been traveling the world ever since. Gypsy parents.
How many children do you have?
I feel like I have 5, but I have 1 human child and 3 cats and 1 husband. And then I have to take care of myself. I'm the 5th child. So,
Well, you already named your pets. That was my next question. And what are you doing for work currently?
for my work right now, I'm actually building Seven Green Sisters, a community of women and men, witches, whoever wants to join, who are ready to go on a spiritual healing to cure our past traumas and live proudly in the moments that we have for the rest of our lives.
Awesome. I love that.
Want to join?
I'm already here. How old were you when you realized you were a witch?
What's funny about that is I think somebody else realized I was a witch first. I had an art teacher that handed me a pack of tarot cards. And was like, I think you'd really enjoy these. And she let me practice in class. I was 17. And sure enough, as soon as I touched the deck, it didn't come with the book that the decks come with today. And I wish I knew what deck she had given me to play with for. She gave it to me for like 2 weeks. And when I read people in class, she allowed that. I was spot on. I mean, I interpreted what the art meant. So as an art teacher, she saw I was very artistic and I loved, all art, especially with Georgia O'Keeffe. And so we had lots of conversations about interpreting art. And I saw tarot as a way to interpret artwork. Mm-hmm. And so as I would read for people, I started to realize that I was getting messages where I would say things. I'm like, I don't know where that came from. Why would I say that? I felt really ballsy and I sort of felt like a liar at the time, but I leaned into it because nobody told me, you can't do that. You can't say that. Since nobody was sort of telling me not to do it, I'm like, hell, I think I'm going to continue on with this. And what really propelled it was a death, which normally happens. You have something traumatic happens that questions your whole belief in the universe and everybody's plan. What are we doing here? And it was with that the feelings came on stronger afterwards. Because at first I was really ready to end my life. I mean, this death hit me really, really hard. And I was just like, if there is a God, F you. And I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And the world is screwed up. I got really, really broken down. And I found a book by a psychic medium named James Van Praagh, and that changed my life. And I leaned into that gift again. And since doing that, now I've been practicing, I don't know how many years.
Do the math.
23 years or something.
A long time.
I know it's going on 25. So I just skip a couple so that I can say the same number for a while. But that is how I found myself in witchcraft. So
nice. I love that.
Yes. I'm really glad that somebody introduced me. I had that primer for it. So yeah,
that's wonderful. She was drawn to you.
The artwork.
What would you like your audience to know about you?
I have to control my mouth a lot because I really like to cuss. Cussing is part of our family. I was in the Navy, and a lot of times I have to slow down what I'm saying because otherwise there'll be a lot of profanity out there.
They just slip in there.
It just feels really natural, and I understand that it can come off as abrasive or offensive. And so that's something that I really try to calm down about myself as I speak. But when people are around me, you're going to hear me cuss quite often. It's just part of the language that I use to express myself.
We have a cusser. All right. How often do you do spells?
For me now, because I have been practicing for so long, I do less spells now. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that I do concerning my own magic is more meditation and walking and thinking about my problems and how to, instead of trying to fix them now, I try to figure out how to be okay with them, which is a huge shift that that's not something that you can learn overnight. It's something that you want and you develop and you grow that. So when I do spells now, far and few between, 3 a year, probably, not that often. because I work on it in other ways through like my mindset, how I think about things. I use the law of attraction, which I think is basically spell work.
Absolutely.
So in the actual ritualistic spell work that we would think about, like getting things together, sitting, circles, whatever it is, I do those less, but I'm always willing to help other people with them. I still love to do them. I just don't find a need as much in my own life now.
Okay. I like that. What advice would you give to new witches?
You know what, you guys, the whole reason I started Seven Green Sisters, we started Seven Green Sisters. The reason I got on board with it is because all I wanted to do was help new witches figure out their path, because that's what helped me, is somebody recognized it for me. And that really allowed me to grow myself. You get knowledge from your sister witches around you, but then you've got to go off on your own path and learn the things about yourself that you can only learn by yourself. Nobody's going to give you the keys.
It's very individual.
The path is very individual. Especially, we are all solitary, independently practicing witches. We don't practice Wicca, which is more organized with rules and a set teaching schedule. When we decided we wanted to learn something, we just went off and did it. And then we would talk about it, and journaling is so important. So that's probably, I went all over the place. Journal the things you're going through, what you're learning. And when you discover something that you don't like, be okay with that. You don't have to fit in with anybody else's idea of what being a witch is or what witchcraft entails. You do not have to do spells. There's nothing that says you have to do something to be a witch other than you claim the title for yourself. That's it. Once you claim it and you start growing yourself in that spirituality, side of it, that's you. That's how you own it.
All right. What is your sun, moon, and rising?
All right. I'm a Pisces sun, which I never felt connected to, because all the Pisces I've known are super emotional and a little crazy. And I was always really balanced.
Sorry to our Pisces
audience.
We
know I'm a Pisces. I get it. There's times when I go through it, but when I met other Pisces, I'm like, well, they're way on the spectrum of Pisces. Like, they're deep into it. What's wrong with me? I don't fit my sign. And so later years, when I learned my rising, which I'm a Virgo rising, that fits perfectly. So misorganization, OCD, clean freak, everything has to have its place. Very practical. That fit my personality more. When I read that, I was like, oh, I definitely fit my rising a lot more than my sun. And then my moon is Libra. And I only learned my moon maybe 5 years ago. So learning my moon allowed me to better connect with my partner, because he's a sun Libra. And I finally understood, like, I'm actually not an introvert. I'm a people person. And I love talking to people and being outside and communicating and just like learning people's stories and helping them along and sharing knowledge. And I never thought that about myself until I read my moon description, and I realized I really do have that trait in me. It's just that I don't always show it, so that moon sign is really kind of your secret self. And being married now to a Libra, that comes out full force. Yeah. So again, being on camera was like one of the scariest things for me ever. And now we have 66 videos on YouTube. Yeah. It's kind of wild that I'm on the internet. I would have never thought I would ever do this in a million years, ever. And talk about everything so freely. Like, I thought I was such a shy, quiet, timid person. Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Here
reality check. She has awoken.
Yes. I love that. Is there anything that you would like to share with our audience?
Ooh, so much. I mean, I think the biggest thing for the audience that we're building right now, and the women and men that we're trying to help through their spiritual journey, is just don't give up. It gets hard and you judge yourself against other people and what they're doing, and it makes you feel inadequate, and that sucks. And everybody goes through it. So when you're feeling like really, really, really alone, I want you to imagine that in every house on your block or every apartment that you're in or wherever you're at, there are hundreds of other people feeling that same way, that they feel alone, that nobody understands what they're going through. And there's a message with that the human experience is a very lonely one until we all connect. So I urge you to have the courage to connect with people. Get out there, share your story, listen to others so that you don't feel alone anymore.
I love that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.